Once again, appreciate y'all taking the time out, talk a little Georgia Southern football. Obviously, coming off a heartbreaking loss, I thought our guys did a really good job of being prepared. I thought our coaches went in with a great game plan. I thought our guys went in with an edge, really attacked the game and really put themselves in position to win it. Unfortunately, Louisiana made one more play than we did, and hats off to them. Coach Napier and their program do a great job. Looking forward to obviously we were able to reset yesterday. Looking forward to moving forward and heading down to Louisiana again and go play ULM. And looking forward to try to get that bad taste out of our mouth and see if we can go get a W.
Coach, what improvements do you feel like you saw Saturday, and what areas are you still concerned about?
I thought I saw young guys really get better. Guys that had not played before, played in the first game, didn't play as well. I thought they played a lot better in the second game. I do think the self-inflicted wounds are some things that we still got to make sure we're handling. We don't need to, we don't need to fumble the ball. We don't need to throw interceptions. We need to make sure we're taking care of the ball. We had two crucial penalties in the game. We only had two penalties, but both were crucial. An offsides on fourth down against Louisiana. They were able to get the first down there and then score a touchdown. And then we had illegal participation that really stalled a drive out for us that was turning into a really good drive for us. And so I think the self-inflicted wounds, I think defense got better in the red zone. Offensively, we got to get better in the red zone. I think those are the things to still concentrate on. But I did see a huge improvement from game one to game two, and now it's going to be about the little details as we move forward.
Shy throwing for 255 yards, 18 passes. Was that, going into this week, was that an emphasis of, hey, we can throw on these guys and move the ball out?
Yeah, no question. I think we've worked very hard on our pass game. We were really doing a great job during spring ball. And unfortunately, that got cut short. And then, once we got everybody back and we were able to get back started again, we continued to try to progress our passing game. I think we've done a really good job of recruiting receivers and getting guys in here that can make plays for us. Shy's obviously improved as a passer. Our offensive line has done a tremendous job of protecting him. And we just got to continue to grow in that area. Obviously, if we can continue to get our passing game going, that's going to tremendously help our offense and help our run game.
Now you head back to Louisiana to take on a Monroe team that 0-3 on the season. They're having a slow start here and having some issues themselves. Keeping that focus, what do you look to get accomplished here in the first couple of days of practice this week, and keeping your team focused and the eye on what needs to happen Saturday?
Well, if we start looking at what the other team's record is, or possibly their struggles, and start thinking that we're good enough, that's going to be a problem. I really feel strongly that in the Sun Belt, you got to make sure you bring it each and every week. And I really like the way our guys attacked the game last week. It was very aggressive. We were aggressive as coaches. We were aggressive as players. And I think that mindset's got to continue. We can't get into, this, hey, they're 0-3 or anything like that. They're a well-coached team. Coach Viator does a tremendous job with them. And we've got to really
Coach, after
that. And I just feel strongly that our guys have that edge about them.
Coach, after a loss like that is, heartbreaking, it can linger a little while. Is it tougher to get guys to kind of refocus after one you felt like, man, we probably should have won that game?
No, I don't think so at all. I think our team is mature enough to handle it. I think that they understand that they put themselves in position to win the game, but didn't. It's two different tales. Game one, we didn't play very well, and we got a 1-point win, and we didn't feel good about that, but we did win. We played a little bit better, in the second game, and played good enough to win, but just didn't get it done. And but it's still an L. And so when it's all said and done at the end of the year, that first game is going to be a W, that second game is going to be an L, and everybody's going to pretty much forget about that. But I think our guys are mature enough to know, after yesterday, we looked at the film, we learned from it. We moved on, and now it's time to get to work on ULM and, just learn from the past and then move on from it.
Coach, 2 games in a row, your offense goes down and scores a big touchdown. And it looks like you got a chance to win, and then the defense kind of in the Campbell game let them march right downfield and score a touchdown. And in the ULL game, kind of the same thing, marched down to the 36 and had a chance to kick the field goal. Do you see that as being an issue of closing games on the defensive side of the ball when they played a really good game aside from that?
Well, no, I think it's 2 different games. I think we were growing up in that first game. I think our guys did a good job of growing up in the second game and really coming to play better. I think that I don't think you're giving enough credit to Louisiana. I mean, if you watched how that game went, they were going to get themselves in position. And let's don't forget they hit a 53-yard field goal. And that guy has not been very good at kicking field goals all year. He actually missed one early in the game, and I would love to see what the percentages of him hitting that 53-yarder. Hats off to him. He did a tremendous job. Won the game for him. But I think our defense put us in a position to win the game, and that kid made one more play than we made.
Earlier, you talked about a lot of guys getting that first game experience and against a Sun Belt opponent. One of those guys, Caleb Hood, with his first career touchdown. How exciting is it to get more guys involved? That's not just the same guy scoring and producing. It's every man doing his job.
I think it's really good. We've got some talent, man. Hats off to our coaches, man. They've done a really good job of recruiting guys. Obviously sometimes it's growing up part that you got to not get frustrated with. You got to let those guys grow up and put them in the fire and get them there. And I'm really excited about Caleb Hood. He really has attacked this season with a work ethic that makes him look like an older guy. And I think that showed on Saturday. But we've also got other guys, Mill Smith, and I may say this wrong, he either had 47 plays, 49 plays after not being available for the first game. And, he really didn't play for us last year. And he played really hard and well in that game. So we got a lot of young guys that are stepping up, and obviously being able to have more weapons on offense obviously makes it a little bit more difficult for other coaches and their defensive coordinators to game plan against us.
What are you expecting? What do you see from Monroe?
Spent a little bit of time watching them last night and then this morning, still trying to get a good feel for them. But offensively, they seem to want to throw the ball a little bit more. I think the quarterback who was the backup quarterback last year is a really good passer, probably not as mobile on his feet as the previous guy they had. And then when you start looking at Josh Johnson, their running back, that's a guy that is a big back that can be explosive. If they wanted to start to get him going, even though they've thrown the ball a little bit more than probably what they have in the past as far as with Josh goes. But then the 3 receivers that they got, I think they're explosive. Watching them on defense, I know that early on their defensive coordinator had stepped down and, now have an interim DC, but has been there. And he's kind of a 4-2 guy, plays a lot of man coverage stuff, really likes to man his corners up. So still trying to fill them out a little bit, but obviously have some guys that can make plays, and we'll be in the wrong if we don't really take them seriously.
Coach, after Bo Johnson's fumble into the end zone, we saw you on the broadcast go up and talk to him pretty quickly. He's a young guy. What do you say to him in that moment? And is there a message you take, kind of a greater message to the team about taking care of the ball? And also, what do you think of that rule? It's always talked about anytime it happens in any game.
Well, I went to him because the first thing I wanted to make sure was, hey, man, it's you got to reset. You got to move on to the next play. We're only going to be as good as your next play. And, I just wanted to make sure that he didn't, just go into some type of funk. And to be honest with you, when I started talking to him, I was like, wow, man, how mature this kid is right now. Because, there was no I could tell in his eyes he was going to put it away. I thought our sideline was really awesome. Our offense came up to him, said, hey, man, we got your back. We're going to go get this thing back for you. You know, and I think, you know, ultimately we would have loved to have that, you know, have that one back and not have that happen. But if you look at it, we were able to get, our defense did a good job of getting the ball back. And then our offense, you know, went down and got the score, so that it did not end up hurting us. You know, I think it was a great learning lesson for Bo for sure. It was a good learning lesson for our team. We were able to talk about a scenario that we haven't talked an awful lot about. We're always talking about protecting the ball, and we always talking about, and we always work it in practice. But, you know, we've got to talk more about, hey, let's don't try to extend the ball. You know, we got a rule on this team now, you know, and I said it to the team yesterday, the only time we're going to extend the ball is if we're in a 4th and goal situation. Other than that, we need to keep the ball tucked. We need to make sure it's protected, and play the next play if we don't get in. So I think that was really good for a young guy to learn, but I thought he handled it very, very well. And, I mean, he has not missed a beat. I mean, he was upbeat last night, was really practicing hard. I thought he did a good job of resetting during the game. So very proud of him, very proud of his mental toughness there. But as far as the rule goes, you know, I don't know. I mean, part of me is like, man, if you don't protect the football and you don't take care of the ball and you let it go and it goes out of the end zone, I mean, the rule's right to me.
Coach, can you talk about getting Wesley Kennedy back in the lineup and what kind of options that gives you on offense? I mean, we've seen him for years now, but Billy Napier was talking about what a difference he made, and also, you know, speaking very highly of Shy Wards too, of course. But tell me about what kind of ways you want to get Wesley the ball. He went out for some deeper passes Saturday.
Yeah, you know, we're always trying to be creative, but get Wesley the ball. Obviously, we moved him to running back so that we could get him the ball more with what we do on offense. But he is such a weapon. We can obviously hand it to him, and he can make plays for us that way. But we can also, you know, run routes with him out of the backfield. We also have the ability to line him up at wide receiver, at a slot, or even at an outside receiver. You know, I know in the past you've seen us throw him in at wildcat quarterback. So we've got several things, and then obviously he's our punt returner and kickoff returner. You know, so we're trying to find any way to get as creative as we can, because he is a weapon for us. And I mean, you can tell, I mean, you know, if we'd had Wesley in that first game, I mean, it might have been a little bit different. Wesley's a game changer for us, and he's a guy that really makes our offense go. For him to take the first play of the game and, you know, against Louisiana and bounce it to the outside, show his speed, get a first down on the first play, you know, he brought a lot of juice to us. So obviously always looking for a way to get him the ball.
Thank you.
What's you know, we've seen the past couple of weeks after a touchdown, whoever scores a touchdown has gone over and played the electric guitar. You know, what's that about? You know, that new added fun on the sideline.
You'll have to send me a picture of that. I'm not sure anything about it. I'm kidding. It was something the running backs came up with, and we were able to get a guitar for them. And anytime anybody scores a touchdown, I guess they're rocking out. I don't know. Whatever the young kids say.
You wouldn't know anything about being you're still young enough. You know the lingo.
Yeah, I think I try to listen. So I say it right, so they don't laugh at me. But
taking notes.
That doesn't always work, but.
Any musical talents of your own, Coach?
Not for me. Now my oldest daughter, she can play the ukulele and plays the keyboard also. So that's about the extent of it for me.
So who's your favorite 80s hair band?
80s hair band.
Speaking of guys,
you have a lot of hair yourself.
Without hair.
I hope this is right. Bon Jovi, maybe.
No, you're good. Yeah, you're good. That's fine.
All right. Kind of a country music guy, man.
No problem with that. Think we're good, Coach.
All right. Hey, appreciate y'all, and look forward to doing it again.
GATA.
GATA.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.